And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size, but not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation.
This man has his thumb right on the pulse of most Americans' biggest concerns. How can I get more junk food to make myself weaker? Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Now, most popular president in U.S. history, all the things, free and fair, is great. Yesterday, during the Super Bowl, by the time this comes out, a day or two ago, Super Bowl Sunday, President Joseph R. Biden, on his official presidential Twitter account, X account, put out that video. And we're going to watch the whole video. It's only 46 seconds. This is painful, but we're going to get through it together. It's going to be entertaining, where he was criticizing food manufacturers for not putting more of their junk food in their containers and bags. Now, this is a concern that I've heard literally no other person talk about. It is a concern that I would dare say, getting people more junk food for their money, I would dare say, is a tactic to make people weaker. Junk food makes people weaker. Psychologically and mentally weaker and sicker. Interesting. Now, before we get to that, we will note that the White House declined for President Biden to do a sit-down interview on Super Bowl Sunday and air it, which is a bit of a presidential tradition. This is the second year in the row that the White House has declined to allow Biden to be on camera and risk letting his way of being get out to the public. And here you can see the New York Post article on it. Biden bails on Super Bowl interview for second year in a row. I wonder why they bailed on the Super Bowl interview. Can't imagine it. But using my wildest imagination, here's what I can imagine about it. The special prosecutor who was investigating Biden for having classified documents he wasn't supposed to from his time as vice president made a report on his investigation about the president and had things like this to say. You can get from the New York Post article. President Biden broke the law willfully, presenting serious risks to national security, but he's too senile to put on the stand. And the prosecutor interviewed the president last October and found his memory significantly limited. From the special prosecutor's report, he did not remember when he was vice president, forgetting on the first day of the interview when his term ended. A Biden quote, "If it was 2013, when did I stop being vice president?" And the report also went on, and forgetting on the second day of the interview when his term began. Biden quote, "In 2009, am I still vice president?" And he did not remember, even within several years, when his son Beau died. I'm sure that has nothing to do with why the White House didn't let him do a Super Bowl Sunday interview. By the way, are they running the play where now they're throwing Biden under the bus to bring someone else in? A play that many of us suspected they were going to do for a while. I don't know, maybe they are. I'll show you some more evidence on that in a second. But first, here is Biden's little video that he put out on his presidential Twitter account, really standing for the American people, criticizing food manufacturers for not giving people more junk food. Let's take a look.
The Super Bowl Sunday.
By the way, we gotta stop already. You notice this American president has an American flag pin on and a Ukrainian pin. And by the way, I think he's wearing the American flag backwards. I think the stars are always supposed to be in the upper left-hand corner.
If you're anything like me,
luckily I'm nothing like you, buddy.
you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. When Biden...
By the way, look at his eyes. They're like, dude, how much Adderall do we have? That much? Okay, put it all in.
snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller.
I literally haven't noticed any of this.
A bag of chips has fewer chips.
I doubt they actually have fewer chips and bags of chips.
They're still charging it just as much.
It's weird how, like, the price of things goes up instead of, like, drops. That is weird. I mean, leave it to a guy who's causing massive inflation to notice things like this.
And as an ice cream lover, what?
As an ice cream lover. Cool. That's so relatable. I'm glad someone wrote that on the script for him to say, as an ice cream lover, I too like ice cream, therefore I like him.
What makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size.
I don't think the cartons have shrunk in size. And if they have, I don't care. but I also don't think they have.
But not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation.
They don't call it shrinkflation. He's literally the first person that's ever said that. Hey, let's do a diversion. You know how people are really concerned with the inflation that we're causing? Yeah. Let's get people talking about shrinkflation. What is that? I don't know, we just made it up, but I think we can just this will be a good diverting tactic so people won't care about the inflation that we're causing. Election year, people. Shrinkflation. We're going to put an end to this thing that never started. Leave it to us. Can we count on your vote?
It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break.
Okay, give me a break. Well, those are fighting words.
The American public has...
By the way, you can see his eyes darting, darting a little bit left to right. He's definitely reading off a teleprompter, and probably not very well. You'll see how many jump cuts there are. He's like, dude, he got half a line. That's a take. We're going to pick up where we left off.
is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
Let's see what people think in the comments. So that's President Biden's tweet. Jack Posobiec, shrinkflation so bad it's hitting your remaining brain cells. Imagine being so dumb you admit what's happening under your administration. Yeah, that was pretty good. Jason Storm Chaser Nelson, it's literally your fault and you pretend it didn't exist. Man, you truly suck. Jason's talking about inflation. Next comment. Thanks. That'll save me $4 to $5 a month. That puts a massive dent in my $300 a month rent increase. Ministry of Truth. The $5.2 trillion we printed had nothing to do with it. Yeah, he didn't admit it, so probably not. UFC fighter Sean Strickland, a very base dude, weighs in as you give billions of tax dollars away to foreign governments. Sticks and hammer. It's called bidenomics. Look at someone else did that we did. Someone else's fault for what we did. Sir Gonzalez, the lack of self-awareness here is truly remarkable. Actually, it is very remarkable. And, Biden's little message that someone else wrote for him is reminiscent of this message from a year and a half ago. Remember this? You probably do. My message to the companies running gas stations and setting prices at the pump is simple. This is a time of war and global peril. No fear-mongering there. Bring down the price you are charging at the pump to reflect the cost you're paying for the product. And do it now, says the guy that's causing oil price increases. They charge more because it costs them more. It's called capitalism. Hard for a communist to understand. Biden. But I think it's great that Biden is taking a stand to fill you with more junk food. I mean, you look at the USDA food pyramid, you've got junk food at the bottom. No, those are grains. Yeah, it's processed grains. That's junk food and sugar. Sugar is kind of a grain. So yeah, all the healthy stuff, you don't want very much of that. We need you to get more of this. Some experts would say this food pyramid and Biden's recommendations, it is exactly what you need to do to get yourself diseased. So do more of that. Not that we have a plan to weaken people, but here's the news. It's psychological junk food. Here's this shot. You got to get it. Where's my natural immunity? You don't have it, but this will make it weaker. Let's fill you with chemical estrogens, and we wonder why testosterone is going down and strength is going down. No idea. Now to the grander scheme that might be at play. Many of us have viewed Biden as nothing but a puppet that isn't able to keep up the optical illusion that he's running the show. And many of us have therefore speculated that the puppet masters truly don't care about Biden. They just care about using him to further their agenda. Here's the puppet. We're going to usher in our agenda. It's great. However, when the time comes where we need to replace the puppet, we will gladly throw the puppet under the bus because we have no loyalty to him. We're just using him. So that's been a play out of their playbook. We suspected is coming. Is that play currently being ran in light of the special prosecutor's report that I mentioned in the beginning of this video? There's a lot of mainstream news publications raising the question that we've been raising since before he was elected. Is he mentally fit to serve? Wow, mainstream media is asking that and even saying that? Is this just the play that we've been expecting all along? Well, cut to Business Insider. Kamala Harris says she's ready to serve amid concerns about Biden's age and memory. Now, if this is the play out of the playbook, they're throwing Biden under the bus and like, holy cow, we didn't know he's mentally unfit. He just kind of all of a sudden became that way. Oh, we are very surprised. I don't think it's anything to raise our pulse about. I don't think it's anything to get excited about. I don't think it's anything to get scared about. It's something that we would expect. Now, throwing Biden under the bus, some of us would say, oh, that's good. Get him out of office. It's like, well, I don't know, is out of their playbook. It's just them still doing their best to exercise control that they probably shouldn't have. So while it would be exciting because it's variety, it's something new if it's happening and continues to happen, I don't think it's exciting in the sense of maybe now we can get real change and get out of the Biden tyrannical influence. Now there's same puppet masters back there. That's why I think the 2024 election is really important, and hopefully it's a free and fair election. And if it is, I'm very optimistic. And if it's not, then I'm not as optimistic. That is Biden's message about what most Americans are concerned about. I'm going to skip the Super Bowl interview because I can only read a few words off the teleprompter at any given time. Chock me full of all the uppers. Let's talk about junk food and shrinkflation nobody cares about, but hopefully they're dumb enough to think that I look like I care. Cool. As the play of throwing him under the bus may or may not be continuing in the Super Bowl of American politics. With that said, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you. But before you go, I do have a special message that is not brought to you by junk food. This used to be a cow. And this is the infrared sauna blanket made by Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness company with a huge range of evidence-based products to help you optimize your life in every way. It's founded in science and based on nature. And the infrared sauna blanket is one of my favorite Bon Charge products. Maybe you've been wanting to burn calories to control your weight and improve your body shape. Or you've been wanting to detoxify yourself because you happen to live in a world filled with toxins. Well, my friend, look no further than the infrared sauna blanket. Improve your body shape. Well, the sauna blanket works by elevating your heart rate to that of physical exercise. You can burn up to 600 calories per session while you relax. And on the detoxification note, sweating helps flush your body of heavy metals and other toxins, like toxic relationships. But a little secret how I really love to do it before I get in the infrared sauna blanket, I have a nice session on the infrared PEMF mat. This is the beauty made by Bon Charge. Infrared PEMF therapy has been shown to reduce inflammation, boost mitochondrial function, slow the aging process, relax the nervous system, and boost energy production. Yeah. If you want to treat yourself to the best with the infrared PEMF mat or the infrared sauna blanket or both, just go to boncharge.com/JPReacts. And while you're there, use the discount code JPReacts for 15% off.